Hi, I'm Daniel, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about a map that I like. Now, this map was made by Ethelstan Spilhaus, a South African born scientist who did multiple interesting things. One of the things that he did, he was a part of an attempt to create an experimental city in northern Minnesota. An interesting idea. He did some other interesting things, but the one we're talking about today is the Spilhaus map projection, which has been, referred to as a world map for FIS. Now, that's a little bit of a sort of funny way of thinking about it, but it's also not really a complete thing because obviously much more than FIS, if, you even consider FIS to be a thing, because apparently biologically, fists aren't really a thing, but that's biology, and I don't know a lot about biology compared to something like geography, so let's talk about geography, where oceans are actually important in many ways other than just fists, and it's very interesting to see the world viewed in a sense of oceans, especially if you consider a lot of exploration happened across the ocean, and patterns of colonization, and as well as shipping routes, even in the modern times. And it's actually pretty interesting, how much this works as a real map can be debated. I'm not saying that this would be a good map to use for most cases, while certain places like Europe, Africa, the east coast of the U.S., Greenland, the Caribbean, the Middle East, South and Southeast Asia, even Japan, even though Japan, appears on the map as rather upside down, those areas actually look pretty good. They definitely work. However, places that have coasts that fall on multiple sides of this large mega ocean don't quite work, like South America, for example. I'm not sure exactly where you would draw the line on something like the western U.S. China doesn't really work that well. Most of Russia would be distorted quite a bit. So it's obviously far from a perfect map. South America obviously does not even really look recognizable. Down at the bottom of the map, you see, what is Western South America. You think Peru, Colombia, Ecuador. Meanwhile, the eastern coast of South America shows up on the left side of the map. Think northeastern Brazil. Really the whole coastline of Brazil, as distorted as it appears here. Venezuela, the Guyanas, all that. So it definitely looks a bit odd, but you could imagine, the fact that most cities are on coasts anyway. It almost sort of works, doesn't it? Like any map that is put onto a two-dimensional plane, the Earth, surprisingly to some, is not two-dimensional. So it's not going to work perfectly, and this isn't really about being an accurate map. It's about just showing a different perspective, and that's why I like it so much, and that's why I think that map projections and even just geography in general can be such a cool way to view the world through a different lens. And I guess sort of that's what I'm trying to get people to think about with this video, the way that the world can be thought of a little bit differently, not necessarily better or worse, but just differently, so that you can look through different perspectives and your overall understanding can be more broad. Or perhaps not. You can do what you want. I'm not your dad. Okay, that's the video. There it is.